Yo, what's happening, people? Let's get into it. Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1. This is your match review. Alright, guys, straight into it here. We lost away to Liverpool at Anfield. In a game maybe we didn't expect to get 3 points from. What we wanted was a performance. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. I just want to start with the team, with the lineup. El Neni came in and Tierney came back in. And Gabriel made way for David Luiz. Surprised, definitely. I thought Gabriel would start. I weren't sure how he was going to do it because I know that Holding has been the preferred right centre back when he's been fit and available. And then last season we saw Mustafi. He's obviously been injured since then, so it's been Holding. But I thought when signing Gabriel, and I don't know what the long-term plan is, because Gabriel is left-footed, David Luiz is right-footed, but prefers a centre role. How that's all going to fit in, and I think as the season goes on, we'll begin to see more of that. Of course, we signed Mari as well, who's also a left-sided centre-back. So, yeah, we'll see how that works going forward. But, yeah, surprised to not see Gabriel in the starting lineup. And actually, not as surprised to see El Neni starting. I know he wanted to be more solid in the middle. I did think he may start with Sabas just for that little bit of creativity. But, yeah, he went with El Neni just to try and be a bit more solid. And Maitland-Niles over Saka as well, for that same reason, really, just because he provides a little bit more solidarity, being able to play left back, left wing back, and left centre back, left centre mid, all sort of at the same time. So I think that's why he went with that lineup. Did it work? Probably not, but would another lineup may have worked different? I'm not sure. Just because of the quality of the two teams. Listen, let's be completely honest. Let's get into it. First few minutes of the game, Mane's on the pitch, and I can't work out why. I genuinely can't. Like, Tierney gets the ball, Mane runs up to him and gives him the mad elbow to the head. Now, I've seen softer red cards given for that. So Campbell did a lot less. Back in Highbury back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And he got the red card. Rules ain't changed that much. They talk about intent. He saw Tierney. He knew Tierney was there. He kind of went to shield himself maybe, but you caught him with an elbow. If you catch someone with an elbow, maybe it was a bit more the forearm, which maybe got away with it. But for me, under the words of Sir Alex Ferguson, could have killed him. That, you know what I mean? Tierney should have stayed down a bit longer because, you know, them flailing arms. I'm sure we saw one earlier on. Maybe it was last season, jumping up for a ball when the arm kind of comes down onto a man's head. That's just as bad for me. I don't understand the difference between that and what happened to Mane. I personally thought it was a red card, but it's one of them ones. It could be 50-50. Did VAR spend long checking it? I don't think so. I mean, it seemed like the game progressed quite quickly on from that. They didn't have a long review. I genuinely would have liked to see him go to the monitor and just say, look, boom, there's a red card potential. Have a look again, see about the intent. You know what I mean? Because when it was Eddie Nketiah last season, it was about seeing about the intent. He went for the ball, he missed the ball, he caught the man. This, he didn't even check it. I don't care if it's 3, 4, 5 minutes into the game. Personally, we were told that, you know, if these decisions are questionable, then they'll be sent to the monitor. And these days, when you go to the monitor, you tend to change your mind. Maybe that's why I want it. But there was a flailing arm that went in there, and he caught Tierney. So disappointed with that for sure. But we move. Didn't think it was actually going to happen at Anfield in the first 5 minutes of the game, but says more about the game than about what I think. And then, yeah, moving on from that, we held our own for a bit. I'm not going to lie. We kind of stuck in this low block, passing out from the back, trying to beat Liverpool press. And to be honest, the first sort of 20 minutes, it weren't working. Liverpool were catching us out, having a couple of half chances. Mane with a couple of chances early on. Although he shouldn't be on the pitch. But yeah, we kind of got away with that. And then one time it actually worked. You know, people will look at the end result and say it was a Robertson mistake for Arsenal's goal. But actually, if you look at the whole move as a whole, and I've said this so many times in my reviews of games, the passing up from the back, beating the high press is what our game is all about. And we did it again. Liverpool pressed us, and we beat them out from the back. Probably the only time we really done it effectively. You know, there's times in the game where we could have done it a bit more, but we didn't. But this time in the game, it worked a lot well. Maitland-Niles bombed on from left wing back, got the cross in. Van Dijk actually missed his clearance, which then kind of forced Robertson to make a mistake. And Lacazette, in the end, mishit it, but luckily went over Alisson into the back of the net. Again, you will look at that and say, you know, jammy goal. But actually, again, how do you get from... the ball doesn't just appear to Lacazette in the end. You know what I mean? The ball doesn't appear to Maitland-Niles. There's a period of play where Arsenal built up from the back. And the fact that you can do it against the best team in the league, for me, shows progress. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We had the same result against Liverpool last season, but we scored with a scrappy goal. There's nothing to it. Whereas this year, we scored with some sort of progress, with some sort of meaningful to go forward. And that was our only shot at the half. But listen, against Liverpool, you're not going to be creating 4, 5, 6, 7 chances. And if you are, as Leeds saw, you might be conceding 4 or 5 goals. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be easy at Anfield. However, what I was disappointed, the fact that we went 2-1 down 10 minutes later. 1-1 turned to 1-1 very, very quickly. Ball found Salah. Got 1-on-1 with Tierney, got round him and got the shot off, which Leno should have maybe parried out more, maybe pushed it a bit more wide, maybe pushed it over. But it was a fierce shot, and I think Leno's main intention is to try and save it first and foremost, which he did. But inevitably, it fell to Mane. Now, I just want to go back on that goal. I mean, personally, a lot of people questioning Maitland-Niles. It seems in the commentary that they're not quite sure where his position is. Now, maybe being a team that doesn't watch Arsenal on a regular basis, they wouldn't know. But how many times have we seen Maitland-Niles play left back to left wing back to left centre mid, all in one position? And it's worked very well, because no one was questioning it in the Community Shield. No one questioned it in the FA Cup semi-final. No one questioned it in the FA Cup final. That's how he plays. That's how Arteta's system is. Now, did it leave Tierney a bit isolated 1-on-1 with Salah? Yeah. Could he have maybe dropped into a back 5 a bit earlier? Yeah, but that's a system that Arteta wants to play. And you're telling me that a left back got beaten by a right winger? I mean, that's literally your job as a left back. You defend against right wingers all the time. And sometimes you'll get beaten. And today, Salah got the better of Tierney on more than one occasion, definitely. But that's the risky play when you play the type of football that Arsenal are trying to play. And it goes against you sometimes. And this time it definitely did. And we got caught on that, and Liverpool got their goal. And then it was just disappointed to go 2-1 down then after that as well. Ball came to Trent. Trent hit a great cross into the box. And then I think Willian really let his marker go. He was chasing back with Robertson, but I think the ball came in so quickly that he didn't react, whereas Robertson was proactive in trying to get there. Willian wasn't, and he didn't get there in time, and Robertson was able to put it in at the back stick. Yes, they're playing 5 at the back, and maybe Bellerin could have covered it, but I feel like Mane ran across Bellerin, and instead of Bellerin maybe passing him on to Holding, he kind of went with him. And I think when the play happened so quick, you know, if he didn't go with him, question marks would be like, you know, why didn't Bellerin stay with his marker? Of course, he went over him, and so for me, Willian's got to be getting back there. And it showed, because the next 2 counter-attacks Liverpool had, Willian got back there and he stopped Robertson from getting across him. And that just shows that he's aware that he let his man go and made a mistake defensively. And I think when you play in Arteta's system, everyone has to do their role, attacking and defensively. And, we didn't stop the cross from Trent. We didn't. Maybe that was a bit of lack on maybe Maitland's side to close him down. And then we didn't cover the back post with Robertson. So, yeah, all in all, it wasn't great in terms of the defending for them 2 goals. But listen, you're playing against the Premier League champions. You go into half-time 2-1 down, and you're thinking, there's a chance to get back into the game because stay in the game. And I think that's what it is. So many times we go into these games where we're 3-0 down at half-time. We're disappointed. We haven't got a chance to react. But today, we went in at half-time, and we're still in the game. We stayed in the game. So I was happy with that. The problem is that the only problem was that could we create a chance? And boy, we created a chance. Lacazette had one half chance, but he was offside, and he decided not to stick it into the back of the net. Tried to dink Alisson, and then the second chance was absolutely massive. 63rd minute. Finally beat Liverpool. I thought we were a lot better in the second half, to be honest. Danny Ceballos came on and literally within the first 5 minutes, he played a great ball to Lacazette, split the Liverpool defence. Trent tried to play the offside. He got it completely wrong. And Lacazette was 1-on-1 with Alisson. And I feel like with Arteta, when you work so hard on trying to create chances and so few come along, you've got to score that 1-on-1. And Lacazette will know that. You saw he looked disappointed after that for the rest of the game. Head was down. But listen, you're 1-on-1, you're a striker, you've got 3 goals in 3 games. Here's your chance now to really try and put your name in the headlines, to at least try and grab something back from Arsenal. And he just wasn't clinical enough. He just kind of just hit it and kind of hoped that Alisson maybe will go down. There wasn't like a dink, there wasn't like a plan. It was just to let me get the shot off quickly. Don't get me wrong, Alisson closed him down quickly, but as a goalkeeper, you got to, innit? So he wasn't magnificent goalkeeping. I think it was just standard goalkeeping, but he done well. It was a poor finish from Lacazette. It was a poor finish. He got to score those chances. And these are the chances that, may come to haunt us back towards the end of the season. But listen, as I said, they're playing against the Premier League champions. You don't get many chances, and they've got to go in. Yes, there's 30 more minutes to the game. Yes, Liverpool after that looked a lot better, but gotta be scoring that, man. You got to give us a chance. We go into half-time 2-1 down with the chance to claw something back. There's a chance. Got to take it. Pepe came on, was quite poor, to be honest. Couldn't really get past his man. 2 horrendous corners, couldn't beat past the first man. There's a reason why he's not starting at the moment. The consistency, as I said it last week, one game he has a good game, which he done quite well against Leicester. Today, not so well. And I know you don't get a lot of opportunities to impress, but when you do, you got to take them. And I felt like this may have been a good chance. Willian coming off, not done his great job defensively, but Pepe hasn't shown enough for me to start on a regular basis as yet over Willian. So we'll see what happens with that. And then we'll get to the Jota came on. He had 2 chances where he really should have maybe got something. He didn't. And then there was a cross from Liverpool, headed away from David Luiz. It wasn't the best of headers, no. You got to get a bit more depth on that header or pull it out of danger. He headed it straight to Jota, who inadvertently handled the ball. The ball rolled onto his chest and hit his arm. It wasn't the badge. It was on the lower part of his arm. There's images you can show it. Clearly hit his arm and put the ball in the back of the net. Now, was there massive appeal from Arsenal? No, there wasn't. 3-1 down, you're probably not going to appeal massively. But where's the VAR? We talk about handball. We've been talking about handball all weekend. And the one that actually is handball, because you cannot score a goal. You cannot handle the ball when it inadvertently goes straight into the back of the net. That one was. He literally scored from it touching his hand. And the VAR did it again. Second time in the game, they didn't spend long looking at it. They told us it was a review. Quickly moved on. And there's angles to show that it did actually hit his arm. So for me, that should never have been a goal. It should have been 2-1. But these things happen. It's football. It's VAR. We'll talk about more on the podcast this week as well. But listen, you know, we lost. And there wasn't really a man of the match for me. I guess Ceballos probably came on and was our best player in the end. Lacazette done quite well, obviously by getting a goal, but then missed a big chance. Aubameyang was anonymous in the game, unfortunately. So yeah, probably Ceballos came on and changed the game for us, really. No one else really shined. Ainsley worked hard on the left-hand side, but didn't really get an end product with anything he did going forward. But yeah, so I guess the final thing is into the Ramsey versus Arsenal. I predicted that we'd lose 2-0. We did lose by 2 goals, but it was 3-1. So we got a goal, and Liverpool obviously got 3. And so it means that we're still level in Ramsey versus Arsenal in terms of points. And then Arsenal will be ahead on goal difference because of the result last week. So far, I'm predicting it as pretty much it is happening. So we'll just have to see where that leads us towards the end of the season. Of course, we've got Sheffield in the Premier League this weekend. And then before that, we go to Liverpool again in the Cup. So we'll get a match preview for that game. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how Arsenal go on for the rest of the season. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.